Welcome to Irkutsk. What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm in the city of Irkutsk, capital of Irkutsk Oblast and lying on the Angara River. This is the 6th biggest city in Siberia and has over 500,000 people. This city was founded in 1661 as a Siberian fur trading post, and they traded some other things as well. And then it grew slowly and grew slowly before 1825, after the Decembrist revolt in the west of Russia. Many people were exiled here, sent here for their punishment, and while they were here they grew the culture here, the life here, and they built lots of the buildings here that still stand today. I can't wait to have a look around and check out this brand new city for me. Let's go. We begin this video in Irkutsk like in so many other Russian cities, next to the Lenin statue in Lenin Square, right on Lenin Street. However, unlike most Russian cities, the square with Lenin is not the main square. The main square here in Irkutsk is called Kirov Square, and it's down this road here. So let's go take a look. This is the main square of the city, Kirov Square. In the winter this is covered in snow, and this is location of this city's main Christmas tree, but as you can see in summer it has beautiful flowers, well-cut grass and very nice green trees, and of course the centerpiece of this square, the fountain right here. Surrounding this square are various important buildings, such as here an educational institution, behind me here a government building, and over there a really big hotel. The historical part of Irkutsk is called the 130th quarter, and that's where I am now. Here, several old wooden buildings are located, all concentrated in this small area. There are few Russian cities nowadays which can still boast such a large amount of wooden architecture, as most of it around the country has been knocked down and replaced. Here in this area you can find establishments which date back more than 100 years. However, I do have one complaint. This area was restored back in 2012 and subsequently has a bit of a tacky theme park feel to it. These old buildings are now home to very expensive restaurants and boutiques. It just doesn't have the feeling of a classic old town which you'd expect in Siberia. It feels a lot more designated for tourists, with all the prices marked up and all the buildings being a little bit too clean and a little bit too nice. Behind me here in the 130th quarter is a statue. This statue is called Babur. B-A-B-R. Babur is a Siberian word for Siberian tiger, an animal which was very common around here at the time and was put on the coat of arms of the city. However, in the 19th century, St. Petersburg decided it wanted to design a new coat of arms for this city, Irkutsk. At the time, St. Petersburg was the capital of Russia. So when the people of this city sent over instructions for their coat of arms, there was a slight misspelling B-O-B-R instead of B-A-B-R, making the word badger instead of tiger. And what came back on the new coat of arms of Irkutsk was a sort of badger-tiger hybrid animal. That has now become the symbol of the city, and there's a statue of it here, and it's on the coat of arms even to this day. Behind me here is the oldest theatre in Irkutsk, the Irkutsk Academic Drama Theatre. This theatre is very important in the history of this city, and in 1995 the federal government, the national government in Moscow, gave this building the status of being historically and culturally significant. And here is the statue of the Emperor Alexander III. This was originally put in place to commemorate the linking of this city to the rest of Russia by the Trans-Siberian Railway. But in 1964 it was taken down in the Soviet Union and replaced by just a pyramid kind of plinth. Then in 2003, due to the demand of the local citizens, the plinth was taken down and the statue of Alexander III was put back up and restored, and now sits pride of place here by the river on the upper embankment. I'm now standing on the lower embankment of the river Angara. This embankment has two tiers, one down there for walking, for pedestrians, and up here there's a little path and also the road. This embankment is a few kilometers long, and in 2011, for the 350th birthday of this city, it was all revamped, it was renovated. You can see how nice and clean and new this whole place is. When this place was redone, they also added some sculptures and some monuments to the embankment, the most prominent one being this, the Moscow Gate. The Moscow Gate was first built in 1813 to commemorate 10 years of Alexander being the Tsar. However, by the early 20th century, the whole thing had basically worn down to not existing. And then in 2009, 2 years before the big 350th anniversary of this city, it was decided that for that anniversary they were going to rebuild the Moscow Gate, and here it is in all its glory by the river in its original spot. And another monument from 350th anniversary in this city, it's this, a statue dedicated to the founders of the city. It's a pioneer with a 6-meter long gun. This building behind me is the Epiphany Cathedral. It was originally built in 1693 as a wooden cathedral, and then in 1716 it all burned down. 2 years later, after collecting donations from the local area and the local people, they decided to rebuild the church, but this time with red brick. And nowadays that's what stands today, this beautiful church. Behind me, this church is called Spasskaya Cathedral. It's the oldest stone church in eastern Siberia. It's in a more classic Siberian church style, and although it's had many iterations over the years, this building comes from 1706. Behind me here is the local Catholic church. Of course, it's very strange to have a Catholic church this far east in Russia, and that's because here in this city in the 1820s, lots of Polish people were sent here on exile. In 1825, they decided they wanted their own church to practice their religion, so they built a Roman Catholic church made out of wood here in this city. Later in 1876, that church burned down, and the local community once again chipped in some money to build a permanent brick building. Later, the church was taken away from the local community and turned into an organ philharmonic hall. Today, it's still an organ philharmonic hall, but after the Soviet Union, the Polish church asked the Russian government for the church back. The government said no, and now it's still an organ hall. But the Polish government did put this church, the Irkutsk Catholic Church, on their list of historical monuments. Behind me here, next to the church, is a statue of Alexander Kolchak. Kolchak was the leader of White Russia. They opposed the revolution in the early 20th century and eventually lost. However, he's still pretty popular in Siberia, and on his 130th birthday in 2004, they gave him a statue. This is Znamensky Church, part of one of the oldest monasteries here in Siberia. It's very beautiful in a classic Siberian style and is most famous for being the burial place of many Decembrists, Decembrist wives and their children, for example, Princess Trubetskoy. And if you're looking to connect with some nature while you're here in Siberia, you could always come here. Lake Baikal, the largest freshwater lake in the world and only 1 hour from Irkutsk.